Hi guys, it's Beth. Welcome. Today for my Bringing Back Basic Gray collaboration that I am doing along with Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing and Kathy, who is Stampin' Cat, I decided to do things a little different. So while I do have a project share for you showing you what I've made, kind of what got me started, I thought I'd make a few cards with you as well. So this is a collaboration that we are doing, the three of us have been doing this year because we all realized we had a love of the old basic gray papers that are no longer made, and we had been hoarding them. So we decided that we would play with them once a month and kind of share our projects with you and our inspiration. And hopefully if you have basic gray papers, you can pull them out and enjoy them as well. So I am kind of in fall mode right now, feeling all the fall vibes. And so I found this Indian summer paper and called Autumn Glaze, and it was from 2009 Basic Gray. And it was this, pretty combination of reds, oranges, burgundies, and there's a little pink, kind of a plummy color as well. And I had these letters that I had cut on my silhouette for some blocks that we had made, and I just needed the outside of the block, the outside of the letter that just had the cutout, so the negative part, I guess is what you want to call it. And so I wasn't putting these on blocks, so I didn't want them to go to waste. So I decided to make a card, and I realized that it would fit better on a mini slimline than probably a normal A2 size card. So I made a mini slimline base and then just cut my pattern paper. I looked for parts in the paper that didn't have a lot of the pink or purpley colors, that had more of the reds and oranges and yellows, and so kind of coordinated a little bit better with my letters. And then I brought in, this is just a vinyl sticker that I had made with some vinyl scraps that I had. And so I put it over here just to kind of fill this space and kind of ground it, bring in some of the darker colors. And then I wanted to offset that with that little leaf over here. Same thing, just slightly different letters. And then this time I pulled in a gold gourd and leaf. And then I do have scraps on the inside. So that's kind of what got me started on this pattern of paper. And then I decided I had 2 sheets, so I would go ahead and use up one of the sheets that I had. So I decided to keep playing, and so that's what we are going to work on today. And so I have them ready to go to kind of keep the process quicker. I pulled out some of my tall and skinny sketches just since I was working. I kind of wanted to stay with the whole mini slimline size, and so I pulled out some card sketches just to kind of get the juices flowing. This is Mojo Monday, sketch number 404. And so again, tall and skinny, I think they can be used for slimlines or mini slimlines, and I've also converted them to A2 size as well. So I have all my pieces cut. I did pull in some brown cardstock for the rest of these. I have the Indian Summer Autumn Glaze pattern paper, and then I also pulled in some scraps of the other basic gray papers I had that kind of coordinated. This Indian Summer Autumn Glaze was not double-sided, but most of my other basic gray papers are. And so I found some that kind of were fall colors and coordinated. This one I went ahead and stamped on, and it's a die-cut circle, and it also had pattern in the back. So I'm just going to put this together for a quick mini slimline card. So my mini slimline bases are 7 by 6 1/4. So they measure 6 once folded, they're 6 1/4 across, and then 3 1/2 inches wide. But I know a lot of people do them just at 6 inches, like 7 by 6, so that once they fold them in half, they can get, if they're using 6 by 6 pattern paper, they can get 2 card fronts out of 1 sheet of 6 by 6. So this one is pretty simple. I'm just going to add my sentiment on here as well. And then I do have some leaves, some die cuts, and I kind of would like to work some of those in just to give it a little bit of something extra. Figure out what colors I want to go with. And then bring in our glitter glue and tuck those under. So there is my card, and I did end up making 2 with that same card sketch, just use a different sentiment on this one. So the next card doesn't have a sketch. It's just using some of the paper. I have a pumpkin that I die cut and then used some distress inks to blend in and give it some color. I have a sentiment that I have already cut, and I'm just going to fishtail one end real quick. So on this one, I'm also going to use some brown cardstock and piece them together to make the card front. So kind of center that like from the top and the sides, and then I will come back in, add my strip, and again kind of make sure it's got an even border along the bottom. And then I have my pumpkin and my fall greetings. And I think I'm going to use a little strip of this. Just to add behind my sentiment so that it's not drooping over my cardstock, or where it kind of hangs over the piece at the bottom here. So that will just help that lay flatter right there. And then on the back, I'm going to pop up my pumpkin a little bit, but I didn't want anything as dimensional as foam tape, so I'm just using, it's a piece of 100-pound cardstock. So it just raises it up just a little bit, and again will help it lay flat over all of those layers. So add some glue here. And then place that down. And there's my second quick card. And again, I have 2 of these. So the next one does not have a sketch either, and it was just kind of using some of the last bits of the paper. And on this one, I'm going to be using my pattern paper again as my main card mat. And then I have some scraps of 2 other papers that I was just going to kind of piece together to go in the center here. Basic gray is one of those that I do hoard the scraps. Normally when I'm using a paper pad anymore, I try to use up all the little scraps that I can so that nothing's going back into my stash, but basic gray is that exception because you can't get that anymore, and I really like their patterns. And so I thought I would pull in some of those scraps and put them to good use this month. So again, just kind of another simple card. Just going to layer those up, and then I have another one of my vinyl stickers that I made from scraps a while back for the Smash Our Stash collaboration, and I'm just going to try, I don't have my tweezers over here, so I'm just going to try and center this as best I can. On my stitched die cut circle. There we go. So that's going to kind of be my focal element there, and then I have just Happy Fall that I stamped out, and I think I'm going to leave that. I don't have a lot of room, so I think I'm just going to leave that as is and not fishtail that. And I'm going to have it kind of coming off the edge over here, and then we'll go ahead and place my circle down. And there's my next card. So then the last card, I am going back to a sketch. This is Mojo Monday number 386, another tall and skinny sketch. This time I have another piece of brown cardstock for my card mat. And it's going to cover the whole front, hopefully, of the card. And then I have another sheet of this gold pattern. And then my autumn glaze. I'm going to put this gold pattern down first. I think even though the sketch was vertical orientation, I'm going to do my card horizontal because of the pattern paper, like it's flowers, and so you can kind of tell that the flowers are coming up from this direction, so you probably wouldn't have noticed if I turned it vertical, but I noticed and it bothered me. So we're just going to do it this way. And then I have a turkey that I had also cut out of scrap vinyl. And so I'm going to peel him off and put him on this die cut circle. So the nice thing about these little vinyl cuts, they can totally be used like stickers. You don't need the transfer sheets or anything like that. And then I think I'm just going to do it like this, and this one I will fishtail again. And there's my turkey. And then there is my final Thanksgiving card. So here are the 8 cards that I made this month. And I did come back in on all the cards that I just made, and I added scraps, the scraps I had left of either the cardstock or the pattern papers. So of that full sheet of 12 by 12 of the autumn glaze paper and the scraps. I did have one little scrap left that I didn't use. But I will be sure to link the card sketches I used below, and I will also link Sarah's channel and Kathy's Instagram account in the description box below for you. So please be sure to see what they made for the Bringing Back Basic Gray collaboration. And if you have Basic Gray in your stash, we'd love for you to bring it back out and craft along with us. Thank you guys so very much for your time today, and I hope you all have a very crafty day.